Hey everybody, it's Maggie from Personal Euphoria with today's plank story. So if you don't want to plank, what you're going to do is put your fingertips or hands on the surface behind you, so the back, the base of the chair you're sitting on, which means you might have to scooch forward a little. Just make sure you're fully on the chair. And you're going to push down into your fingertips or palms, lift your breastbone and your chin and bend back, and then return just to tall and relax the arms. Then push down to go up. So push into your palms, bend back and lift, and return. Okay, so here is today's plank story with a little more information from when I told it in class this morning. So I saw this poll that was talking about how they basically asked, and what I saw, it said they asked men whether they thought in an emergency, if they needed to land a plane, they could. And so before I continue, I'll give you a beat just to put in the comments what your answer to that would be. If there was an emergency situation on a plane you were flying on, could you land the plane? Okay, I'll do this while you answer for a second. So go ahead, you can just weigh in on your opinion. No judgment. Although it's gonna seem judgy in a second. All right. Either way, you have the answer in your head. So apparently, 50% of men said yes. And from the story I was reading didn't comment on women, which bothered me because I can't tell if that's a lot or a little or normal. So apparently, and you could do math to maybe figure out what percentage of women, but 30% of Americans, or 33% of Americans thought they could land a plane. Of that, 50% of American men thought they could land the plane. I asked Matt what he thought. Now, Matt has his pilot's license, but for small planes, like 6-passenger, 2-prop planes, or single-prop planes, maybe. I don't know if he could do both, but small planes. So I said, like, if we were flying to Europe and something happened to the pilot, would you be able to land the plane? And he said, well, what's wrong with the co-pilot? And I said, well, in this scenario, the co-pilot's having a problem too. It's you or nobody. And he said, well, I think if I could communicate with the control tower and they could talk me through it, and I had a competent, capable person who could stay calm and read things to me that I'm going to need read, he said, then I think I could do it so that no one dies, but you're never going to fly that plane again. So I think it's funny to me that an actual pilot is saying, this has to be the very precise scenario, and then I think I can do it. And he didn't say it with like utter confidence. He's like, I think, and he said, but you know, it's going to be safer to come in hard, so I'm coming in hard, and we're going to need a lot of runway to stop. And he also said, then he started talking about all these things that I realized I didn't know about planes and flying. Like, he said, it also depends on where we are en route. We have to figure out where I can land. He's like, I just can't land on a small airstrip anywhere because I'm not going to be as skilled. He said, if it's early in the flight, we have to figure out where to dump all the fuel safely because you can't land with a full tank, which I didn't know. And apparently that's a thing. Sometimes you have to release jet fuel. And I said, well, in an emergency, couldn't you just release it anywhere? And he's like, can we just dump jet fuel on people's houses? He's like, I don't think so. I'm like, but what if it's an emergency? Like, this plane has to come down. So now that's the new thing we have to find out. But anyway, this poll that I saw has just amused me to no end, and I have found it endlessly fascinating. So again, I hope you'll weigh in on whether or not you think you can land a plane. I really don't know. I think I wouldn't be able to remain calm enough. So whether I had the skills to sort of figure it out is almost irrelevant. I think I'd be so nervous. I mean, I'm scared of roller coasters. If I'm landing a plane, I'm going to be petrified. But if I do it, I'm going to pee my pants doing it. That I'm pretty confident of. Anyway, have a great day. And as always, keep moving.